You're live,
Hello,
yeah.
everyone. Welcome to the Republic of Players podcast. This week, we're going to be talking about EA and how they are shitheads. Apple and how they're not that bad. And Twitch. We'll move on. How's everybody?
Games again.
No, we're not even talking about two games this week at all. Tink, how are you?
But good, tired, upset because my stats are weird on Battlefield and I don't like it. I don't like walking around with noob stats in an S-class rank. It doesn't make any sense. Feel vulnerable and naked. I was very annoyed.
Who's still playing Battlefield?
I am. Season 5 came
I'll be
out,
honest, I've never played it, so I don't know. I can't say yet.
Emotional with it.
Season 5!
Season 5 on it. Yes,
it hasn't
we
fallen
have 5.
off. Usually them games just fall off after a couple of seasons.
Hasn't. No, they introduced new weapons and new map modes as well, new maps, so that's always fun. So yeah, it's nice, but I don't like what happened to my stats.
Battlefield always has a contingency of hardcores playing it constantly.
Yeah. When's the next Battlefield coming out? Next year?
Couple of years probably at this point, because they don't drop it every year like COD. Sorry.
It's like weighing up like two bad games against each other. It's just like, oh, they just don't do this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
John? How are you?
Of course, you talk to me the second I take a drink.
Yeah, of course.
Can't even smell it.
I'm good. I'm warm. It's very, very warm here in Ireland, as people do know. So I got the fan going, so you can see my fringe going absolutely mental. But other than that, I'm a-okay, baby.
Love the wind machine look.
Yeah, okay.
The wind machine. Aiden, what's the crack with you?
Not so bad. I'm in great form. Again, weather's scorching.
Oh, gee. I'm in Donegal. Donegal people. It's not working. We can't deal with it.
All our houses are made of stone. And they have incredible insulation.
Houses are made out of stone.
Yeah, they're either freezing or roasting. There's no in between.
Yeah,
There's no in between.
They're made to keep in the heat, sure.
Yes. Oh God, they keep in the heat.
Yeah, but they're not meant to keep in the heat. They're not made to keep in the heat in the winter. That's the problem. Right, we'll jump straight into news. Probably something I'd be more interested in, but I know companies will be. Square Enix is reportedly panicking over Final Fantasy 16 pre-orders. Does anyone pre-order games anymore, though?
This is literally what I'm going to say.
Go on, Aiden. Sorry.
I do and I don't, Aiden. What about you?
I think the age of pre-orders is kind of dead. I don't think it means anything at all anymore if people don't pre-order games. Like, we all got sick of all that. What was it? This was actually another Square Enix game. Remember Deus Ex and their your pre-order?
Yeah.
We're so long past that. I think this is dumb.
They got absolutely done for that, though. Like, in fairness, like that was one of the deaths of that whole monetizing extra monetization on top of your pre-order. Like, if you get the super pre-order, what are you talking about? The hell are you talking about? I do pre-order, but only if it's games like Elden Ring or like God of War, stuff like that. And it's literally the only reason why I do it is because I want to play it on the first day, and I still have down the shticks freaking internet. So
yeah, that is a good reason to pre-order is to download it.
Preloading is the only reason, in my opinion.
Bad internet is the only reason why I pre-order games.
Yeah, but it's not like pre-order like 2 days before. It's not like pre-order 6 months before.
Yeah.
I gotta download this 6 months before it comes out. You can't. Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah.
It feels like Square always has like really unrealistic expectations for their games.
It's always Final Fantasy.
It's a pretty big game.
All the Tomb Raiders like undersold by like 4 million copies a piece. They expected everyone else to sell like 10 to 15 million copies, and they sold 6, which is incredibly good. And they're like, not enough when you sell off.
That's bloody every business. No, it's not enough.
Square and Warner Brothers always seem to be the two that kind of annoy me with that.
You can see the people in their suits going, sell more, and the lads in there going, I don't know how.
Yeah. They have to change their metrics because it must be just they're panicking because there must be like they're using it as a metric to how many games will be sold, and like obviously that's shareholders or whoever people who are involved in the money side are not happy. But as I agree with you, I don't think people are pre-ordering as much, so maybe the metric that these people get their kind of flowcharts from may have to be changed slightly.
The flowchart.
Also, this game's been marketed really bad. Does any of you know Final Fantasy 16 is out in 2 weeks?
No, had no idea. And usually I have friends that are like avid players, even online with the whole like MMO and all that stuff online.
I haven't seen an ad. I haven't seen a single ad. I know because I'm obsessive.
Yeah, but you would see some today, then, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It would have passed me by in some news article saying getting ready for whatever, or fans anticipate whatever, or something drag. You know what I mean? Like, but
It's
nothing.
one of the biggest name series. Final Fantasy is one of the biggest name series in games. The 16th major main franchise game is out in 2 weeks, and nobody knows
Yeah,
about it.
no one knows about
Bad
it, and that's why I
marketing.
was like, that's exactly how I would have seen it being like pulled all over the place into every single like not only Game Rant but like GameSpot and all these other magazines. You know, nothing's getting dragged up. But
Yep.
yeah, that's the first I've heard of it.
You'll
That's
probably
it.
see a
No
big
wonder
push
they're
now in the next
panicking.
couple of weeks.
Well,
Yeah,
like,
probably
how
see loads
is-
of things
Don't
coming
need it.
through from it.
It's like I'm really. I think there's a Final Fantasy celebration Sunday week, and there's probably a demo going to come out. But I'm really excited for this. But it's crazy that there's not been more hype for it.
It's this
Isn't it
€80
crazy?
game.
Oh yeah, you'll be looking at like if you're going to like full on special edition, arm and a leg, easy.
Oh,
Like, you
yeah.
know.
I can't believe it's not Butter Edition.
But that's how it's going though. Like €80 games, like unfortunately, like especially for the AAA, is how they're doing it. As long as it's the way it's going. I'm not too happy about it. But and hopefully Final Fantasy isn't a game that it usually isn't. But hopefully it's not a game that falls into the full price title. / by the way, you can also buy these lovely costumes.
15.
Oh, let
did
me
it.
see if there is.
You
a
could buy
collector's
this
edition.
sword.
15 had 4 DLC missions that told the backstory of the individual party members. That annoyed the hell out of me.
Like sold
Oh my God.
sold separately. You need to buy the four of them.
At $5 a piece?
Did you buy them?
No.
I was like, yes.
No, I hate Final Fantasy 15. I stopped playing it. Like,
The standard edition, sorry to jump in, lads, is only €70, so $69.99. But if you're going to go full deluxe, you're looking at $98.99 where I am. So I don't know, you might have to pay the full euro on top of that for 100 blips.
I wouldn't mind if it came with
money.
like a character or something that you get outpost. That wouldn't
I'd
be too
rather-
bad.
I'd rather put my money in and get Mortal Kombat 1. Because it's going to be about 90 anyway, right?
Yeah, but still, that's the same thing. It depends what you're into.
If you're going to buy that at launch and keep it up to date with characters, that's going to cost a lot of money over time.
I tell you now, like,
get
well,
you.
You gotta
I
get
didn't
you.
check it.
Mortal Kombat does not like it.
Bought every
No.
character for Tekken 7.
Did you?
Stop.
Yeah.
What?
How
Why?
much? But-
Actually, I love
Because-
Tekken.
Tekken's an amazing game, and I totally
Yeah.
would be like, yeah, I can understand, but like, how much did it set you back though?
What was it? Was it 60 or 70 new and then 20 quid the season pass a year? So that's been like 150 quid now for the whole Tekken 7.
150 splits.
Well, that kind of leads into a different news story, and that's like it's down the list what I have here. But the EA bringing in NFTs to FIFA and Madden, that's kind of the same
wow.
thing. Like what? Oh, why not? I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
What is it? It's the new Nike swoosh store that they're trying to bring in.
Yeah, that thing, right?
But like
Oh
if
my
you
God.
had. If you had a position where you're on Street Fighter and they give you like you can buy this character and there's only 500 representations of the character, and would you buy it? Because you already bought the ones.
In
At least you own.
fairness-
At least you kind of own something.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Something.
I'm just
don't
asking
think I'd
questions,
ever
just
buy-
asking
I don't think
questions.
I don't think I'd ever buy and get overpriced cosmetic that.
Oh,
That's
come
what
on.
everyone
The PUBG skirt.
But you just
It
said
may
that
as
you
well
bought
be
all
like
the
an
all the
NFT.
characters on Street Fighter. It's
Yeah,
not
but
the
they
same
have a
thing,
set- They have a set price. I know.
right? But the NFTs will
Yeah.
have a set price on when they're coming out too.
Yeah, but they'll be really high because they're limited edition.
They wouldn't be that high. Like an average one's about 20 quid or something.
Yeah, but the only thing is that you're not going to be able to keep it forever. Like, what
Yeah, these
happens?
games
Oh, an
Yeah,
NFT you can keep it
Like,
forever.
not like
Well,
what
this game,
well,
the game could have shut down the servers a couple of years.
No, but I'm
Yeah,
talking about
do you
an
know what I
NFT. Like they should be able to take that NFT off. If it's an NFT, a real NFT, you should be able to
Yeah.
take it off and put it on your own computer and do whatever you want with it. That's not the way the
They're
NFTs
not
work.
real
Whatever you do,
They're
with
not
it,
real
They're
NFTs if
not.
they don't. Well, if they're not NFTs then. They're
Well,
not real NFTs.
They're still non-fungible tokens.
Yeah, but if they're
That's
getting into that proper NFT thing, unless it has its own marketplace, but you should be able to store it on your own thing. It's the same thing like if you go on Revolut now and you buy a bit of Bitcoin and they keep it
Yeah.
on your, it's not real. They own it. Like it's not a real Bitcoin or anything. It's not. You don't own that. They own it.
Yes, but
You get me?
it still qualifies as a non-fungible token.
Yeah, kind of.
It's a thing with
you're
manufacturability.
holding a receipt for something you don't own.
Yeah,
And
but
it-
like,
it-
Now,
it's
I-
different.
is that what? Because I can never understand NFTs because that's essentially what was explained to me. It's like you basically have a receipt for something that you will never physically hold in your hand.
Yeah,
Like,
you've received for a
What?
JPEG.
Yeah, but that's the same thing as having a stock, or you own a stock, you own a percentage, you'll never see
Stock's
anything
a
out of
thing.
it. Huh?
Stock is
So
a
is
thing, no.
so is a
It's
Bitcoin.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. What are you going to say, John?
NFTs. NFTs, it's a different thing entirely. They're technically NFTs for advantage, so people who had loads of money in Bitcoin could find a reason to get their money out of Bitcoin.
No, but it does make sense like on a digital marketplace. If you're going to live in a digital world and you want to look at it, if you want to look like that, the same as a Pokemon card. The only difference of the Pokemon card and NFT is the Pokemon card's in your hand. Yeah, that's the only real difference. That's the only real difference. It's the digital world thing you have to get into. That's what you think about, like that as a different place.
But nobody wants that. It's dead. The idea is dead.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, it's definitely not dead. It's definitely not dead. There's millions and millions and millions of pounds going through every day. Okay, well this leads to another one. Apple and VR just came out. It's like you could roll on to all this. Like that's you're saying it's dead.
Man,
it hasn't even started. It hasn't even started.
Nobody wants Ready Player One to happen.
I don't know about that. It's a very broad statement to say that. You can't say nobody wants it. You can't say that.
Kind of does. With
Apple's after like they're after blowing up the internet in the last couple of days with this product. Like people do want this. What's coming up next with the VR? Like you say that Meta's dead. That version of it's dead, but it's going to keep coming.
Apple isn't selling a VR headset. They're selling an AR headset.
It's kind of the same thing.
And it's an ARV. It's an AR.
Augmented VR reality, virtual reality. How is it different?
Yeah, it's just a computer for your living room where you can.
But they're still going to have them Meta places in it. I guarantee.
What I will say, in fairness, is that if you're comparing, if it is completely true to everything that Apple Vision is saying that it can do, comparing the Apple Vision for how it was presented to what the metaverse was, every way it's been presented is like apples to oranges, because the Meta, they've basically put a coffin in Meta, because they've just shown that Meta was absolute crap. And all the stuff we made fun of about Meta, about how it looks outdated, how there's so many things that
Meta look absolutely crap.
There's so many things like it, like VR chat and stuff like that, and how it's even like the character designs and everything are so dated. And now this whatever it's called, the Vision, is so like it's the same. It's a good idea, but it's presented in the normal Apple polish that it seems like it's brand new. Like, oh my god, we need this. It is, and I will admit it is slightly dystopian, but I don't think you can compare it to the Meta, because the Meta.
Another thing as well is they're connecting with the NFTs and Meta. Meta and NFTs are not the same. They're not connected really that well. Like, there's not as much as you think.
The idea of NFTs and Web 3.0 led directly to the Metaverse.
Like, if you had like a collectible thing online that what Logan Paul tried to do, even though he fucked it up, like something like that would work eventually. If you brought a game out or a TV show or something like Pokemon.
Wouldn't it be nice?
You just don't have the same mentality. It's okay.
I don't think very many people.
How can you say you don't think? It's a very broad statement. The things you're saying. I don't think anyone. It's not failed miserably.
The NFT market.
Do you want me to bring them up? Do you want me to bring up the market? There's still billions being spent every year. No, but I'm just saying it's a very broad statement to say. It's silly to be saying that it's over.
From like a $250,000 to like 10K.
Yeah, but it's in a bear market for one. The whole world is coming down. Like, it's not just NFTs.
Give you an example. Wouldn't it be nice, okay? For example, because I would have loved this myself. I would have loved to have my Mixer jersey, my in-game Mixer jersey for Forza Horizon 4, and being able to bring that over to Horizon 5. I would have loved to being able to do that. And then if I got bored with it, I'd love to just trade it off with someone else or sell it to someone else in that market. That'll be ideal, maybe, to use that. And how long would that last for? Because you could have like items that are like super old in the game. That's a digital item that someone could trade off. That could be representative of an NFT, technically speaking. So you just be making that gambling market all over again with items like Steve.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
It could happen. The thing is, Paddy, from what I understand about it, is most of the people who do still trade on this market with NFTs and stuff like that are people who are getting NFTs, creating NFTs, so that they could sell them for a profit.
For sure.
But trying to introduce NFTs as a thing in a game that'll make a game more fun, and but you get to do this, blah 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 blah. I don't see that. I basically only see NFTs as a way of, I'm going to get this thing and I'm going to sell it off for profit. So how is that even making a game more fun? How is that helping the gaming market more than helping the company?
It's attracting that gambling mentality, like with the loot boxes. I hate it too. I don't like it either. I 100%.
These things
but people are going to be games. They are. I hope they do. I hate them too. I honestly do. I just don't like the broad statements of saying everybody. You can't. When you're in a certain mind frame and you're looking at certain things, you have to look at more. You can't just see it the way you want to see it. You got to see it from everybody's point of view.
When I see an entire market collapse, I think it's failed.
But the market hasn't collapsed. I made thousands of euro out of it.
Loads of people made thousands of euro gambling.
It's still there. It's
the
not
market
gambling.
still collapsed. It lost all its value overall.
It has not lost its value overall. I just know because I hate that. It's so broad statements. It's such broad statements. It hasn't collapsed.
Has.
How?
Well,
Is
ask
it
the
not worth
crowd.
nearly what they used to be worth?
But that's the same as anything dropped down.
Any market that
what else
loses-
is there?
Anything that loses over like 80% of its value.
Do you like Tesla?
collapsed.
Do you like Tesla?
What?
Do you like Tesla?
What about
I
it?
want one.
Do you like Tesla? Because they've
I
lost
don't know.
Something that's working.
millions in their value or billions in value in the last year. So does that mean they collapsed?
No, because they're one of the most
That's right then.
price companies in the world. They're still going to
I'm
work
just
with the
saying.
value they have.
It's a very broad statement. Anyway,
If every car company lost what Tesla lost, I'd be like, oh, the car market collapsed.
no, but that's Tesla. I'm talking about the one thing.
I'm on about the
Tesla
electric
they're
market.
kind of running their own in their own
They're
thing. To
one
be
car
honest,
company. They're not a car market. They're one car company.
you just need to open your mind a little bit there, dude.
Speaking of
Very
drama,
broad statements.
let's talk about that Red Dead Redemption 2 being turned into a TV show that I told you guys to watch ages ago on YouTube, Paddy.
No, you didn't. But go on.
Wow. So
Right,
in
what
case you
about it?
haven't-
I don't have anything up about it, so go on ahead.
Right, so in case you guys aren't familiar, obviously we're all familiar with a bit of Red Dead Redemption 2. I want to know what people's names of horses in the chat right now. Do it right now, or even in the comments below. But one person has managed to string together a whole story of like Arthur Morgan and the Vander Lend gang. I can never pronounce that mad Dutch name. It's epic stuff, you know, like
You
loads
should
of errors.
be good at Dutch names.
Yeah, I should, but I obviously my tongue chooses not to. But there is a show that's actually being like literally, well, it's basically based on the game, but they've turned in like all of the cutscenes into an actual show and actually divided up into different episodes in between. So you can watch like some scenes that you probably didn't even see in the game that you missed out on because you went lashing through the story mode, you know. But yeah, it's now been about, let me see here. Yeah, it's about 45 minutes long. Some of the episodes actually a little bit short and long, depending on what they're showing itself. I'll find the YouTube.
And he's just cutting scenes out of the game.
trailer for
That's
it.
all. Is he doing
Cut,
anything else to it?
Does a little bit of a playthrough of walking through in the scene. Like it, obviously this person takes care and not just like blatantly running in. Like they take care and actually walking in and making the scene feel real in the approach. I haven't seen any like mad glitches in the background of horses crashing or anything like that. Around it. So it must have been edited pretty well where everything is like shot to pieces around them. So you can just edit the scene so nothing like runs into the frame. But it's really, really, really good. I'll throw it in there. Game and Bibles has actually put in a nice article talking about it. Jack the Ripper 2 as well, they're talking about it. DLC on it. I don't know. I have to read it a little bit deeper, but maybe it's the attachment that they're throwing in.
It is cool because reading that article you were talking about.
Yeah,
I've seen people kind of do stuff like this before. They're actually like using to kind of put in between the scenes, so it's not just them walking around. They're actually using the in-game cinematic camera, so that like they're getting proper shots and they're like orchestrating. They're actually writing out how they want the shot to look as if they were really a film director,
like
and making
properly
sure
directed.
There's a word. This is machinima.
This is machinima. Yeah,
This is just machinima.
There's a whole corporation about it. But yeah, well, there was. I suppose.
If it was a Nintendo game, it wouldn't happen.
Probably
Absolutely
correct.
not. Jesus Christ, though. But
yeah, as someone who doesn't like playing Red Dead 2, I'm ecstatic to watch this.
Oh no, I was like, I seen it ages ago, and I was like, this is like remarkably well done. I was like, subscribe. I was like, because I only seen like, I think it was like up to 8 or 9 episodes, and then obviously there was a pause because your man has to record more. But like, he was stripping it out ever so often, so I got to catch up on all these like beautiful cinematic scenes of like him just getting onto trains and stuff like that, and continue on a cutscene into a bar or whatever. It's just good stuff, like really well thought out.
Did you play Red Dead Redemption 2?
Oh yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
You
Like I
finished
said, if they turned it into a TV show, we obviously have Pedro Pascal. Like,
just getting Pedro Pascal for everything.
Just in general, yeah.
No other actors. We don't need other actors anymore.
I don't need anything else but him in my life. What?
Hollywood's not inclusive anymore. It's just Pedro Pascal.
Just all Pedro.
Funnily enough, when you link the article, I obviously when you see the URL, you see the headline. So when I read it first, I was like, oh.
Yeah, but that's why I showed it, and then I didn't actually read it before you said it. And I was like, I'll read it in a minute. I was doing something else. And then John was like, it's not a TV show. And I was like, for fuck.
But like good. When I did read that, especially after the Last of Us TV show and how well they're doing on that, I was actually like, yeah, I'd watch it if they did a proper HBO production, a few seasons, because that big massive story. I don't think they could do it in one season. Maybe they could, but I'd watch it, and then they could have Red Dead later on. The do John Marston's story. So I think it would actually work pretty well.
I'll be honest, it's probably been done on, like, these lads have probably ripped it off from some old westerns anyway. So you just probably go back and watch some westerns and you'd find something relatable to these stories. Like the westerns there's so many westerns. There's so many.
Oh my god, yeah. People think we're inundated with Marvel movies. Look back at the westerns, there's like 2 out a week.
Decades of westerns. Oh, there were. Yeah, no, he's right.
They're churning out the TV shows on the day, like the stories go. Some
of them pretty good as well. I enjoyed the westerns, watching westerns.
I just don't like John Wayne. Whatever it is with John Wayne.
All right, Pilgrim.
Just like grabbing women and
he's like the most boring man.
Do you ever see him as like Genghis Khan? That was a bit of an awkward one. It's like
amazing.
You wouldn't do it today.
No, you would not do it today, but it's incredible.
You just wouldn't do it, like.
And you know what I'm going to say? I think he makes a fine Genghis Khan.
So bad. It's so bad.
So bad.
All right, really there, Pilgrims. What's going on here with all the?
Imagine if he was doing an Irishman's accent. Oh wait.
He's just basically the same person in every movie. I suppose that happens a good bit, though.
How's it going, Pilgrim?
Like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson of our generation.
Of our generation. Oh
Who can't be bet up. Xbox Gamers Showcase won't have a single trailer that is full CGI, according to Microsoft. This Sunday, the 11th at 10 a.m., we'll be able to enjoy the doesn't matter, Games Showcase, where you'll be presented with some of the biggest news from Microsoft for the coming months or years. PT, what time is that? Pacific time?
Pacific. So that's California.
10 a.m. Pacific.
8.
Forza Motorsport, Starfield, and 2 games will be there for sure.
1 a.m. for me.
Yeah, we should definitely stream that.
10 a.m., 1 a.m. Is it 1 p.m. then? No? It's the other way.
No. You're in the past.
I'm in the past.
No, we're in the future. On at 9.
Ooh, I'm in the past.
This Sunday at 11 in Pacific as well.
6 o'clock, 7 o'clock.
Sunday
What time is that again?
10 a.m. Pacific. At 8 your time.
EST.
6 o'clock. At 8:08.
Yeah, 6.
There you go.
On Sunday. On a Sunday for them.
Usually they're not that early.
I don't know if I want to get up on a Sunday at 6 o'clock for that. You know
what I will say about this Microsoft Showcase is that they need to absolutely knock it out of the park, because that's another company that hasn't been doing so hot recently. I know we keep going back on, well, the Game Pass is blah blah blah.
What happened to
even the Game Pass is losing.
It feels like it wasn't so long ago that everyone was saying PlayStation's is done, Xbox is going to win. The next thing, PlayStation just takes back over again.
Yeah, it's because Xbox don't have any games, and the only game that they released was Redfall, and we all know
Redfall. Yeah, and they even admitted themselves that they missed the mark on it. So I was like,
Starfield.
okay, cool.
Starfield will have to be a slam dunk.
Has to be. Between that and Hellblade 2, if that's not announced, because I'm going to replay that. I think I'm actually going to probably start it this week, but I'm going to.
Pretty game. That is a pretty game.
It is
very, very
super pretty game, and if that is getting announced at this, they will absolutely nail it. They will nail it for sure.
Yeah, they need a release date. Again, if they're saying no CGI, well, they're saying no 100% CGI trailers, so there's probably going to be a little bit of CGI. Yeah. But all we've gotten from Sahena's whatever sacrifice is all been CGI.
Promise you.
Yeah, so hopefully.
I think this might be the announcement of the new Doom.
Oh.
I'm like, if you're looking for a huge thing that they have that they can excite people with, and you Doom is the one.
Sure, John's a good friend of the show. You should reach out to him, you know? He is. John Romero's a good friend of the show. You should ask. Hey John, any chance of it?
Jen, do you know? Do you know, John? Do you know?
John, is this fact?
You have any insider info?
Any answer? No, John. Go on, tell us.
John,
Tell us,
go
please.
on, we're mates. Go on, we're all people.
It's weird because I know you're talking about John Romero, but it sounds like you're talking to me, and I'm like, I don't.
Not everyone's about you, John. Not everyone's
John,
about
tell
you.
us, John.
I
No,
don't
John.
know.
John.
Is there a Tim coming?
I don't know.
Yeah, but like,
I'm not that mad about Xbox anyway. The only Xbox ever, but I've owned them all. But the only one I really want to get was Xbox 360. It's just I don't know what about the 360. Everyone had it. I think it was the game that had better games on that console or something.
I have
Ahead of its time.
I have like 12 of them behind me in a box if you want one.
I have loads of them here too somewhere.
And like,
The only one I'd keep now is the original Xbox because the memory was so big on it, and it had so many music. You put music on it, and that was really the music box back in the day.
That had a 10 gig hard drive.
Like for that's massive. Like for back then. Like,
Well,
And they were so cool when they were modded. Like I had a modded one that had a 500 gig hard drive and had like every emulator running on it. It was deadly.
There's a modded one there that I've been trying to find a power cable for so I can figure out how it's modded, but I think it's a burner one.
Nice.
You know, when you put your disc in and it burns it onto the hard drive, I think it's one of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hashtag don't get down.
If any of you have original Xboxes, just a PSA, take them out of storage, take them apart, look up how to remove the capacitors, because the capacitors burst after a certain time and they will melt your.
Well, I better look at my house for.
Yeah, this is just original bog standard first gen Xboxes. The capacitors leak after a
2005?
certain time. Yeah,
I had the
capacitors leak
the
after
crystal
like
one. That was
a
lovely.
bit of time.
The clear crystal
Yes,
one was lovely.
You can snip off the capacitor off the motherboard and it's fine, but you will lose the internal clock.
Oh no!
No.
The internal clock.
If the internal
Like,
clock is
like,
still
like,
working now, that'd be
Like
unreal.
removing a battery. Oh my god.
Don't worry,
I-
the battery.
I think honestly as well, if people remember, one of the main reasons why the Xbox 360, especially at launch, outsold the PS3 by so much was because of how apparently freaking expensive the PS3 was. When
It
came
was
out.
expensive. PlayStation 3, if I remember
beat
rightly.
it by a year.
It did
And
as
you-
well. That is true as
It
well.
hit the sale by a year, and it was
Yeah.
I remember
cheaper,
that actually.
and it had achievements, and it had party chat. It
And it
was
had
so ahead of
everything.
its time.
Yeah.
Remember, like the PS3 came out a year after the 360, and it took a year for the PS3 to add trophies
Yeah.
because people were getting angry that the Xbox had achievements and PlayStation
Oh my
didn't
god,
have
there were so
trophies,
many
or didn't have
weird
it.
things with that console being launched, if I remember it right. Like the price point for one, two, I think the library games wasn't great or something like that on the
It was
first
at
go.
$299 at launch, and the PS3 was over 500.
Yeah, it was like $5.99. I remember going into HMV with a friend to buy one.
It was because it had a Blu-ray player. When
Yeah, they were like,
Yeah,
oh, it's
that's
expensive,
right.
but it's cheaper than any Blu-ray player.
Has,
Yeah,
has,
that's
a
right,
has a DVD player on it. I was like pretty sure my Xbox could connect to my computer and I could just use my computer files to just
but Blu-ray.
play a DVD. Yeah, Blu-ray, which also costs the same price as a game, if I remember it right.
They
You
I
know,
don't remember.
died of death.
Either
Blu-ray
Beauty
did not get
Kill.
good time.
or you know, Ratchet
I do
and Clank.
remember HD DVD.
HD DVD.
Yeah, oh my god,
Barely.
yeah.
The only thing I remember with the Xbox 360 was the Red Ring of Death. Having a couple
Oh
of
yeah.
Oh man, I'll never forget my first time. Broken house, ready to jump on.
He just
to
stigged
the-
out. I never remember my first time. Just put something
I
else in
remember
there.
my first. I was kicked out in my bed. I was like, "Brand." I was suffering from pneumonia. It was horrible, and I was like, "Brand." I'll play some Call of Duty. I'll play some like zombies. It'll be grand. I'll jump on, and I turn it on, and it went tiddling, and then it was a red, red, red. I'm missing this part. Red, red.
They figured it
red,
out though in the
three
end, didn't they?
quarters.
What it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, turbo pace.
Did any of you wrap yours in a towel?
Oh no, I
No,
did
I don't
not.
think so.
No.
I think I set mine back.
One of
I-
the reason it was the pins on the CPU were slightly too short, so if the thorough paste would eventually like get not right, it would get like shifted a little bit. It would just come out of its socket a little bit.
Yeah.
One of the ways you could fix it temporarily was you could wrap your console in a towel and turn it on so it would majorly overheat and remelt the thermal paste.
That's
that would be sick.
awful.
I never heard that. That sounds dangerous.
That is the most stupidest thing in the
It
world.
worked. Usually only got about
Yeah,
a
but,
month
like,
out of it after that.
But if you open up a console and you had a look at that said turbo paste, it wasn't, you know, it was like
Not everybody
it was
can open
like
up the consoles and look at
toothpaste.
it though.
It was like toothpaste. You couldn't remelt toothpaste. Like that was like it was like
It
dust.
did work. It did work.
Silly, so silly. I hate silly.
It's like putting your phone in rice.
It's like taking a
does work,
vacuum
though.
and cleaning your
That doesn't
console or your
work.
PC with a vacuum. Never ever do that.
Put it
Never
in
do
rice
that.
and put it in the hot press. It'll dry out. It'll dry out.
I tried that before. It did not work for me. That's
Didn't work.
my one
Didn't work.
experience. Didn't work.
It's my one experience.
Corrosion.
I have a little like mini vacuum thing that I use for inside my PC. It's fine.
Yeah, but not like if is it a proper like vacuum? That's what I'm talking
No,
about.
It's a small USB powered one that goes both ways.
Okay, well, as long as it's safe and it doesn't build up static electricity, because if you do that, you can fry your motherboard. It doesn't matter if it's connected to electricity or not. If you have static built up and you put it in a motherboard, you just bye.
Yeah. Grounding, it's very important.
I'm
Today on
grounded right now.
TikTok,
Thousands of Reddit communities are planning a widespread blackout next week that will impact millions of users. Strike. Go on, Aidan, tell us about this one.
Okay, so if anyone doesn't know, Reddit's official app is really, 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 really bad.
It's shite.
It's so crap.
Yeah.
And it didn't exist until 2018, and it has never been made good. So until the app was made, because of that, Reddit have always maintained a free and open API usage. And now that Twitter has decided they're going to charge for API usage, Reddit has done the same. They are going to charge $18,000 per 50 million API hits. The leading app, Hollow, says it's going to cost them $50 million a year to operate. And because of this, subreddits have decided we're not going to have this. We're not going to control how people use Reddit. And over 2,000 subreddits on the 12th of June are going to go dark. Some for 48 hours, and a lot of them aren't going to come back until this decision's reversed.
I don't know if that's going to last very long, to be honest. Like, when have we ever seen anyone be online petition and have it like go through in that direction?
Here's the thing. Reddit doesn't exist without people. Some of the biggest subreddits that exist are going dark, like videos, pics. Funny.
Oh yeah, the major ones.
Like, the ones that are like the default on every account are going dark. You're going to log in on the 12th, and Reddit's not going to be usable.
Man, actually, well, think of it if it's the main things. I don't know.
It's crazy. I've never seen a community like have such backlash. Every major subreddit that I'm in, there's been a vote this week that they're going to go dark, and everyone's going dark.
How do they go dark?
What?
They just don't post.
They private the subreddit.
Yeah, they just mute it. So no one can comment. No one can.
How does it make money?
No
Reddit make money? There's ads on the subreddits and stuff.
There's ads on Reddit. Yeah.
And if it's the case that all those main groups are gonna start going silent.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
Maybe, but I don't know. Like, it just I've seen this kind of thing before where everyone's like, put a black screen up for your whatever reason. I was like, but what is the I don't get it. Like, who are we hurting or who are we supporting?
And also with the black screen, and Aidan, you can, because I don't know much about this, but the black screen thing was, we're going to do this for a while, and then everyone's going to go back to normal, and no one's going to talk about it again.
Yeah, and
you said there was a percentage of, so what percentage of the big ones do you know are doing the 48 hours? Or are they doing
some of them haven't said exactly. They've all agreed to at least 48 hours, and there's a lot of talks behind the scenes with admins whether they're going to come back or not.
This is my concern. I'm not a big Reddit user, okay? But I know the man is. Does this mean I have to make conversation with him for 48 hours? Unless
he subscribes to some really dodgy subreddits and he has something else to read. Like, all my major ones aren't going to exist.
Obviously, my concern would be... My concern
one of the
things... Yeah. No, I'll just quickly say, obviously, just to... Will after the 48 hours is up, will everything not just be back to normal and then it'll go through anyway?
That's what I'm talking about. Like, everyone's just going to be like, so anyway, in news.
I suppose it's like a protest, just showing what they feel. Maybe they'll do it every week, like the nurses or.
The thing is kind of annoying people is Imager does this. Imager is a really successful website, and they have charges for their API usage, and the same app was like, it's going to cost us 40 to 50 million a year to run. It was like, we pay Imager like 200 quid a year, and they're an incredibly successful company. The pricing is so out of the reach, it'll literally kill every third-party bot app that works with Reddit. None of them will be able to afford any of it. It will mean the only access to Reddit you will have is with dog shit official app that nobody wants to use.
I think that's. Do you think that's what they're forcing them to do? Really? Start forced to use that?
There's probably some corporates behind this. Like, to be honest, that's it.
Yeah,
None
of the apps are like.
Oh yeah,
none
definitely.
of the apps are like we can afford. A lot of them are like we'd have to charge £15 a month subscription to afford this.
But it's the American corporation like we have to make more money every year. We have to make more money every year. We have to make more money every year. It's every company.
Like our profit was so low back in like 10 years ago, but we need to make it just high. Yeah, but
it's kind of like the same like
every year. Like on top of your profit from last year, I was like, yeah, we're ahead of our profit from last year, but we want to be ahead of last year's profit. Like,
no, that's 100% it. Like that leads into our next topic, which is Twitch is throwing more things at their. I don't know, what would you call them? Are they partners? Do they work for Twitch? Are you a product of Twitch? What would you present yourself as? Think.
Me? Oh, at this stage, I've had this conversation a long time ago. Like when Mixer broke up with us over text and everything like that, and talking about moving over to Facebook Gaming and all the rest of it. Son of a bitch, they never phoned me back.
Worst price to break up with someone, or just ignore them. I've done that.
I think it's an interesting conversation because I pointed this out a few weeks ago that they added something here and you want to have a look at this policy change. And now that they dropped it on people, I could understand why people are really confused and thinking, oh yeah, these guys want to actually, take a piece of our action, which is kind of like what it appears to be in the language that they use. Yeah. For me personally, this is probably the reason. This is on top of many reasons why I did not want to go for partnership, because I've done the song and dance of being, from the up and coming to being a partner to doing all that stuff, now to falling back into just affiliate. Because I know what kind of I know what kind of ropes and commitments it is once you start hitting those top partnerships and ambassadorships and all these expectations, right? So if it's the case that like the platform itself, like Twitch, wants to get an extra hand in on the efforts that I like, first of all, companies sometimes approach me and I would love to work with companies that take the effort and get to know me and my brand and everything else like that in between, and my audience and of course our community. So like that's all great and all, and they could offer me a game that could be worth like 120
Will we tell the people first what's actually happened, because I think we'll tell them what's going on. Twitch came out with a statement a couple of days ago, but they've gone back at it. I don't know if they've 100% gone back at it, but they've gone back on a good bit of it. They're saying now that on-stream logos can't be larger than 3% of your screen, which is like a small logo at the top left-hand corner. Like, it's very small percentage. Burned-in video ads are not allowed. So that means if we were sitting here now and I played a video and it was my own ad saying go sub to our TikTok, go sub.
Patty is amazing.
Yeah, John has OnlyFans coming supposedly. Yep. Stuff like that. Burned in displayed ads are not allowed. So that's like flashing up ads or stuff like that, isn't it? Like that there. Yep. You're not allowed.
Yeah, so like say if I had like a rolling ad of like popping up saying like
people
whatever,
people say that they're partners with like Razer and stuff if they're just affiliated with them. Burned in audio ads are not allowed. So this is please sub to John's OnlyFans. Stuff like that coming up in the background. Yeah, stuff like that. So
thank you for choosing John.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I love it. You'd have a great voice for air hostess. That'd be great.
I'm a fantastic
air hostess voice.
And welcome to Aer Lingus. Choose us to choose each other.
Oh God, that's uncanny.
Choose us to choose you. Oh
I used to be for like tech support. So like give like, hi and welcome to tech support. Today we're gonna find out why you fucked up your PC. Like it's that kind of
we're going back to the Reddit thing. Anyway, they had the big they're having a protest, but this is a protest that happened on Twitter yesterday, and it worked. Yeah, or not yesterday, a couple of days, the last few days, and it worked. They went back on what they said, but I reckon they're just going to put it in there somewhere, and they're going to go to the big people that are doing it. I think they're going after a direct person or a direct couple of people that are huge on the platform, and they're making huge money. And some ad is coming along. Nike's going, why would I give you the money when I can go to the streamer and give it to them?
But that's it. They're trying to be the in-between man.
But it's the business. It's business.
But that's it. I had a conversation with another OG partner for Mixer, right? And when we were partnered on Mixer, we did have Mixer set up those conversations with those companies. I wasn't just a Discord partner because I applied for it. I got a Discord partnership because Mixer helped me with getting the fundamentals in place for me to get there. So they were able to be the in-between to saying like, this is what we're doing, this is the roadmap or whatever it may be in those conversations. But they managed to get me in the door. Same way with PUBG, get me in the door.
Yeah.
They never took a slice of the action. They were happy to get. They had the representative saying like that was one of our guys up there.
I think to be fair,
one of our guys.
To be fair to the streamers, like they should, like they're already giving away. Is it 50% now if even if you're partnered?
Not even. I think it's like 60 or something at this stage.
Is it gone to 60? Holy shit!
I think it's 50-50 still.
Is it 50-50?
Yeah,
like that's a lot. Like that is a lot. But like let's face it, Twitch
50.
Twitch built the platform. Twitch has the employees. Twitch has to do this. Twitch has to do that. Twitch has to do the other thing. So you have to look at it that way. But I don't agree with them taking more money off it.
Don't agree with that.
But YouTube are already doing it, but nobody talks about that. Like YouTube,
but no, YouTube doesn't. Like everybody in YouTube uses burned in ads. Absolutely everybody.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't enforce it.
Yeah.
Go on, John.
Yeah, because this was mentioned. Philip DeFranco said he would leave YouTube if they tried this.
Well, no, it is in their rules.
Does
They do literally have a rule in their rules saying there's no burnt
in
ads on
the
YouTube.
TOS, they definitely have it because they've seen it.
They don't
enforce it.
They don't enforce it. It's in there for like bad actors, people who are literally like doing like gambling scams and stuff like that. There, like the whole channel is just ads and stuff like that. So that's why it's there. So people, that's kind of when Twitch walked it back. They did say, well, we're just trying to, and again, believe them or not if you want, they were like, we're just trying to get in line with the legislation of other companies, and then they're using YouTube as kind of a.
But they're also not my pimp. You know what I mean?
They kind of are.
And that's what I like.
They kind of are.
Like no, but that's kind of like if I'm doing my own content creation, I'm not tied to one platform. Hence why I didn't go for partnership, because I know what it's like to be cuffed. And mind you, Mixer had us freelance everywhere. I was on DLive and YouTube and everything like that simultaneously. But the way Mixer is doing it is like they just want to keep you more and more exclusive to what they're control of, and it could be a case of maybe brand safety environment. Maybe there is a lot of bad actors that are doing this, and they want to avoid those kind of people, and they want to be able to look at, we can understand that you got to make your dough as well, but we need to understand that the stuff that you're peddling is going to be brand safe, because we're not an unsafe brand environment for you to like peddle around BS.
I think this is great backpedal talk, but I think they completely meant it for the first time.
But I think it's a lot of like, one, the language is wrong. Two, the expectation of what they're trying to get out of was not clearly communicated. Right? I can understand what they're trying to get out of. Three, you need to recognize the power on that platform. You are not the only dog in this fucking barking like kennel.
Well, they're the biggest one at the minute, to be fair.
Well,
they are, but they have like in the last year actual competition has come around.
It's the worst time for them to be doing this.
It is. It's the worst time.
Three,
one, TikTok is launching gaming pretty hard now.
But I don't think, like, to be fair, if we go back and look at who has tried this, and like Facebook's one, and they were looking, and they're not doing well. I know Mixer, Microsoft, that we know,
and they tried, but
they failed. But YouTube is not doing too well. I don't know. I'll have to look the numbers, but they don't. I know one. There's a lad that I watch, and he's changed his name, but it used to be the Alpha Game, and he does reviews, but he's on Twitch and all that. And he left Twitch and he went to YouTube, and he's been there for the last year. He's looking to go back to Twitch now to be partnered. He reckons he's lost thousands and thousands of euro because it's so hard to build on live on YouTube, which is probably true, because if we were going live here now, it's like in a different space. It's harder for people to find. It's like I scroll through YouTube all the time. I never see live streams of gaming coming up on my feed. They don't push it to me. Very, very unless it's
it now, unless I start searching for something that I want to watch.
So like,
and then they'll show up.
YouTube are more. I think they're more inclined.
Streaming in general doesn't seem to work with YouTube.
No,
there's a lot of like talkie streamers that work really well on YouTube, but games doesn't seem to.
Like it's weird because maybe it's just because it's going down to my preference, but when I see YouTubers, just specifically YouTubers that are getting like over 1,000, 2,000 views, which I know isn't great compared to some of Twitch numbers, but it's not bad. It's people playing like single player games, and like my first time playing Deus Ex, or my first time playing this, and you'll have people be like
Tsushima or Jedi Survivor, or whatever,
which is completely different to like the Twitch/kick mentality of Call of Duty. Show me that kind of stuff. It seems to be people seem to be more, dare I say, older.
I've been watching a lot more VODs on YouTube of like I love survival games. Like I've been watching a lot of what's that one that Ramon was playing at the minute? DayZ and stuff like that. I've been watching VODs, but they're interesting because they make them like a story, and it's interesting to watch along and stuff like that. Where you're watching someone live, it's a bit different. but like I'm not really sure where the streaming service is. Streaming still going to be here in 10 years, in 15 or 20 years? I'd say 10, but like, is it going to be here in 20 years? Like, it doesn't seem to be picking up traction. It doesn't. Maybe it's because we're having a lull after the COVID. Obviously, COVID blew it up, and it's massive numbers and it's silly numbers, and it's going to come back down a bit because people aren't at home anymore.
People aren't getting traction, but I don't know. I think it definitely would be here. I think it's still getting fantastic numbers, especially some of the bigger creators are getting insane numbers. I see it being here for a while. I see it probably taking over from not taking over completely, but like I just think online content in general are going to take over from television.
Yeah,
I agree with that. But live streaming games and stuff like that, do you think that's like? I don't know if I've ever sat and watched someone's whole live stream. I just kind of come in and left again. Maybe it's just not for me.
Yeah,
I do enjoy some of it. Yeah,
kids
100%.
Teenagers do, and
true.
And they grew up with this. And I know you're saying like, oh, we grew up playing games. They grew up watching games. They grew up watching these people. That's their heroes. These are these people's heroes.
Oh no, 100%. Your Prime is a prime example of it. That's why I said to my mother, these are the Hollywood stars. These are the stars of what they like. People used to look at Elvis. I know like, it's a massive comparison, but people used to look at the way people used to look at Elvis and the Beatles and all that. This is them. Like Logan Paul, JJ. Stuff like him, like it's just
KSI, all those boys.
Yeah, JJ, KSI. Sorry, should have called him KSI. You know him well. I call him JJ.
Mates.
But JJ, KSI and that don't do live streaming games anymore. They don't. They're content. It's not the same thing.
It's
video.
Like,
it's video. They do reaction videos. They do VODs. They do stuff. They never sit and play games. Unless he's with the Sidemen. Sometimes he does it.
But they're both. But other people as well, like the likes of Asmongold and other creators like that, they're huge. And he only sits down playing like WoW and stuff. It's the creator. Like a lot of stream. Like I suppose you're right because you're talking specifically streaming games, and I do think that will be there. I think that will definitely always be there for the high octane Call of Duty, that kind of stuff. But you could be right because I think a lot of people watch streamers for their personality, and a lot of I think streaming will still be there. Now, someone sitting down and streaming the brand new game, I do think that'll be there, but I don't think it's as necessary for streaming as it might be.
You definitely go to some streamers. You go because of how good they are at the game, like, and then other streamers you go for the personality.
I wouldn't go to anybody for how good they are at the game.
Never know. I think if I go playing, what would you call it? Any game that I'm really interested in, like DayZ. I was playing that the other day. I'll go watch someone play DayZ to learn how to play the game, to enjoy it like that. If I want to play any game at all, if I'm interested in Apex, if someone's playing Apex, I'll go watch someone play Apex. Do you understand what I'm going to say? That's the only time I ever really go. If I'm not interested anymore, I won't watch them anymore. But if their personality is good, I'll go back and look. Have a look. How are you? What's the crack?
Or you can have the best of both worlds. You can watch Pestily.
Yeah,
good at the game, and he's hilarious.
Yeah, Pestily is the GOAT. He's unreal. You've never streamed games, Aidan, have you?
Nope.
Not yet.
Would you? Not. Yeah, if I had good internet, I would.
You would.
I don't have connection, and I don't stream. I haven't streamed in a while, but I tried to stream, but I did stream.
It's a hard world. It's a hard world to get into.
It is.
It's definitely hard. It's hard to get into. You could try your best, and it's still not the best. Yeah, you're getting fibre in August.
Yeah, so excited.
Spud said the way things are, it's going to be bite-sized short-form media that has attraction at the moment. TT and YouTube Shorts as examples. Yeah, that's true in a certain way, but a lot of people are coming out saying shorts and stuff aren't going to last. They reckon that it's going to blend off. Do you think it's going to stick?
I saw. No, I think it's probably doomed.
You think?
I saw guys talking. They had 68 million shorts views and they got 600 quid for it.
Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you can pump out small quality things. If you do enough of them, you can get your cash easy. But like, it's a case of
was that shorts or was that?
Are you gonna get
68 million shorts views and they got 600 quid for it.
TikTok's supposed to be even worse, so I can't even imagine how much that.
TikTok's got 30% cut or something.
Yeah.
But I like shorts sometimes, but it's junk food crap. Like it's like I'm sick of this now. I'll go watch something.
It's quick info. You're getting that satisfaction.
You're getting the endorphins. You're getting the endorphins quickly. You're getting the endorphins. It's like
after 20 minutes, I feel bad.
Like I've been trying to work on making YouTube shorts, and I've been like, I think if you learn how to make a short video, you should be able to learn how to make a big video. But it's all about retention. Right, so you have to say something really good at the start, click them in, and it's 30 seconds, and it's like da-da-da-da-da, and then hook, get them out, and it's like, this is junk food crap. It's like, you're not really getting information from this. I'm giving you a little bite size and you feck off.
And they're like, dislike, and you're like, no, I took so much effort. It took me an hour and a half for this 5-second clip. Like,
but it kind of just shows them like everybody's like mentality and attention span and like what's really happening. But if it's really that bad for money, like I don't think it's going to stick around either. But it is good for views. That's the only thing. It's great to get your brand in front of people.
And also, your brand, but also other people's brands. Shorts and stuff are great for advertising. Do you know what I mean? Advertisers, if they see that 60 million people have seen, you might get some money that way. Do you know what I mean? Rather than
I don't. The way they're talking about how do you watch ads with shorts? I actually know how this works.
It comes it like when say like you're doing a normal video now, like a video ad will actually come up through it, advertising something, and you want it like that's the way they make money out of it.
After every short.
Like no, it'd be like a few shorts. It'd be like 5 or 6 shorts. So you get it on TikTok as well.
Like you'll after a while it'll come up ads.
No, I don't want TikTok.
Yeah, so you probably won't see it because you pay for YouTube as well.
I do.
Yeah, so that's probably why you don't see it.
That I do.
I do as well. I wouldn't have it.
I couldn't live without it.
No. I watch YouTube more than I watch anything else. 100%. Every single day.
Like I watch some of the things that even crap that people don't even think of. Like I watch so much stuff about ocean liners. Like I just find it so peaceful. It is my vegetated thing at the end of the night. It's like, and let's watch about what happened to the Lusitania. I'm like, yes, let's watch about the torpedo.
You want to know what's a really good falling asleep video? Watch cleaning.
Cleaning
and
video.
Watch cleaning. Oh my god, it's the most satisfying thing I've ever watched.
Or someone taking apart a console and putting it back together and cleaning it with no audio.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
I just watch The Big Bang Theory, I'll be honest. Everything.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm drawing through Picard at the moment. I'm rewatching that, but I went backwards. So I already finished off season 3 and now starting season 1 because I just finished off season 2, so I'm just going backwards.
That's it. It's discovered video on shorts is there. The revenue, like Aiden's, doesn't reflect the work that goes into it. Well, to be fair, like you're making a 30-second video. Like I don't know. Like there is a bit of effort into it.
Yeah, you're not
2 hours and one
you spent. But you get better in time. You get better at them in time. Like I remember.
Yeah, but I spent 2 hours in one and then put it on the wrong channel. And tried to download it and re-upload it to the right channel, and the quality got ruined. I was like, "Fuck it," just deleted it.
Yeah,
I'm so angry.
That's content creation, baby. That's content creation, baby.
Yeah.
You always throw it into
so bad.
It's so understandable.
It's like me making this YouTube tonight. I put it up that I was going on live on one part of the channel, and I went live on another part. So there you go.
It's okay. And you know what? We're making the mistakes because it's real. It's happening live, people. It's not.
That's the only thing as well. It brings me back to Twitch. Is thinking you think of YouTube, and you think of Facebook, and you think of all the rest of them. They're all trying different things, and they're all moving with the times, and they're doing this and they're doing that. Twitch isn't. Twitch is like standing still. It hasn't moved. It hasn't changed. Like, is there anything that has done differently in the last 10 years that makes it different?
Hypocrisy and
hypocrisy.
I can get into it if you want, but anyway. But no, just
like they're trying to ruin things. Like genuinely, it feels like they're.
It's always bad news.
Who messes with everything the year they get 2 major new competition? Rumble and Kick are like not going away for a while. They have major money behind them.
And Rumble is starting to really push for people to get paid. And I'm watching other content creators really going on board with it.
Kick had a thing last week where Drake went on and gave it like 100,000 gifted subs.
Yeah.
Jesus. But I hooked up to Rumble, right? And any video that we post on YouTube goes on Rumble at the same time. And I kind of forgot about it. And then I went back on. It's not getting any views at all. Like, not one. I was like, what the hell am I doing wrong here? Not that I'm doing anything.
I think Rumble's more of a streaming platform than a video platform.
Is it?
That's what I've heard, yeah.
Is it not just a place for people to go that are really, like, right-wing and can say whatever they want? That's basically it. It's like, that's what you say. You see I watch some YouTube videos.
Rumble in particular just seems to be like the Wild West.
Yeah, they're like, if you really want to hear what I want to say, please come to Rumble. It's like, what are you going to say in Rumble?
Like, what are you going to say in Rumble?
Yeah, I don't want to go to Rumble.
Like, I get it, you want to get your numbers up. Then just say that. You know what I mean? Well, over to Rumble, I want to get my numbers up and tell you something cool. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'll be down with that, honestly. But now you're like, come on over to Rumble. I got to tell you something. Like, just tell me now. Like,
it's going to end up like Disney and Netflix and Sky, and it's going to be so many different places to watch live streaming. Like, I don't want to go anywhere.
Live
too many.
On Disney Plus, could you imagine?
No,
think
definitely couldn't. They would never let that
No.
happen. Never.
there's a guy I watch on Twitch. a
This
lot
kill
called
is
Dog
brought
Dog.
to you by Disney.
There's a guy I watch on Twitch called Dog Dog. There's another guy called Point Crow. And I think these guys might be the future of game streaming, where it's all challenge based and they all do really interesting things with technology.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so Dog Dog does things like he made an AI of his own voice, and his chat can ask ChatGPT questions during the stream, and it answers through his own voice. And it's some of the funniest content I've seen in so long.
Oh my God.
It's brilliant, and he spent 8 hours on stream coding it and was getting like 10,000 views.
Yeah.
Explain to
That's
people
something
how he was
different. That,
coding
like
it.
he's thought out of the box. Like he's going for something different. Like that should
Dog
work.
Dog might be the most out of the box
But-
content creator I've ever
But
seen.
that's
Well,
a good
it
question
is.
as well. Is like if you're fully depending on streaming every day, gaming every day, you're gonna have to, like, even for myself, it's like you have to evolve at some point. You know what I
You
mean?
definitely
Like,
have to
continue
evolve.
on doing you continue on doing your thing that's your comfort or whatever, and that's grand too. Each their own. There is got to be a point where you have to evolve, and that's where
Like,
I've been for like the last 2 years trying to get myself to like twist into something else.
Like
It's
One of the
I'll
smartest
be
things
honest.
I've seen people do.
Go on, sorry. Ian.
One of the smartest things I've seen people do is let people try to turn their chat into a second character.
Yeah.
I
It's the
think
best.
that
It's a brilliant
really
idea.
works when you have when a streamer can have like a back and forth with their own chat, especially through like talk to speech on screen and stuff. That becomes really interesting, incredibly
It's
entertaining.
It's all about engagement and interactive.
Yeah.
That was added more,
You-
and
I think-
that's the one thing I miss from Mixer is having that, because we had it so well facilitated for our viewers to be more interactive and engaging. It was amazing, and I wish I had more of that.
I think the days of people going, I can just go on and play COD and like
Yeah.
say a few things.
Oh, it's done.
People in the chat, it's done. You
Some of the
have
most.
to be new. You have to.
I mean, look at some of the most, like, at the moment, some of the most revered streamers. I mean, one of the most revered streamers of all time is Germa. Like, Germa is like synonymous with just doing mad
Germa.
stuff,
He's
just
such a
doing
weirdo.
mad stuff on like when he did the whole fun fair thing, when he did he lived like the Sims, and like the chat were deciding what was happening. But also like he does crazy stuff like that, and like, but then he also like will stream this game for like 12 hours with no camera. But he's been doing it for so long, he's got the audience. But because he gets the audience from the other stuff that he does, that then they tune into German because he's just fun to watch that stuff. So he's getting his audience from these crazy stuff. And also, I have to give a shout out that I usually do, and I think it's a weekly occurrence, is Ludwig. He's doing some great stuff in this
Yeah.
space as well.
That's where I
He's
watched that
great.
video. Was Ludwig. That's where we watched that
Yeah.
video from. Ludwig's brilliant. I love Ludwig too.
But he's just always does mad stuff as well. Like he tries to do the quiz shows or like all this stuff, and just mad stuff. When he had the bidet going for a while, he was selling bidets and stuff.
Still
like
selling
that.
bidets.
Still selling bidets.
I don't
Did
get
you
that.
know where he breaks
That's an
into Hassan's house?
entrepreneur right there.
You ever see
A
the video where he
bidet.
breaks into Hassan's house and installs
Yeah.
a bidet? It's
I
so
did.
funny. It's so funny.
I thought it was funny that you watched him talking about the bidets, and South Park then released a show about bidets. Did you see that one?
The toilet, yeah, and then it was the whole like the toilet tissue was like, we are not against anyone about the toilet paper companies and all this. Oh, so good. Brandy's trying to
Wallace
show off his toilet.
Says, I much prefer to watch someone who's chill and chats crap and has a bit of crack. I'm not bad with the whole being best of the game where the winning tournaments. But again, it's different strokes for different folks. But that,
Yeah,
to be
people
honest,
who are amazing at these games will always succeed.
yeah,
That's
they're
the way I
really
see it.
good.
If you're what do you call that guy that's really good at games?
Ninja.
There's another one who's good. Actually, I like.
There's plenty of more
Shroud?
gamers than that.
Shroud's pretty
Shroud. Yeah, if you're Shroud,
Shroud.
you'll,
Yeah, if you're
you
Shroud,
can
yeah.
you can work forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Shroud
he's-
is-
they
Shroud is pretty
they call
awesome.
they call him they call him the human aimbot, don't you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, the human aimbot, yeah.
The only man I've ever seen getting banned from a game for just being too good.
Although give me
and-
someone beating Elden Ring with the Donkey Kong drums any day. Yeah, that's entertainment.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
entertainment.
That stuff
But
is
that's a
That's
gimmick.
one.
That's a
Yeah.
gimmick. That'll get you stuff. That's not just stuff with sitting down playing card. And Joanne, when I again, I'm still technically a streamer. I just haven't streamed in a long time. I will come back to it at some stage. But I
Yeah.
sit down and I play chill games, and I have my little audience, and I do that. But the problem with that is that there's about 5,000 people at the same time doing exactly what I'm doing, even if it's just a chill game. And no matter how nice I am or how much of a dick I am, people find that funny as well. I'm not doing that special enough that it's going to people go, I have to come in and watch this man play Elden Ring. It's like, or the 5,000 other people who are playing Elden Ring, who gives a hell? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
No, 100%.
But
No,
there's
here he is.
probably
It's the-
only one.
it's the
There's
standing
probably only
out
one
part.
person there's probably only one person playing like Tetris with a Guitar Hero drum kit.
There you go.
Gimmick.
Any audience member that wants to see that thing, he has.
Yeah. Or watching someone play the drums with bullet time effects set up so to catch every angle like that. That is amazing.
That's
and then having said streamer sit me down and show me all the background of how he set it up with like 24 C920s.
Who's this?
Oh, I can't. I'll have to send you his details. I can't remember his name. I know his IRL name, but I won't say IRL. What's his name? Hold on. I'll find it for you. But he was literally at I-70. I'll grab him now.
Yeah, I think personality is very important.
That kind of stuff is really, really cool. I love that kind of stuff where people kind of think outside the box. Like, yeah, I could see you recording like guitar, but like if you manage to like, I don't know, strum a certain chord, it blows out a flame. You got my attention. You know what I mean? Like,
I think role playing in games is very good. I think that's a big place that people can make a lot of.
GTA RP did a lot of good for streamers.
Yeah, that DayZ RP is going well as well. But like I enjoy that. I enjoy watching people do that because it's a story. You get involved. It's a bit of creativity. You know what I mean? It could be, you're actually doing something rather just than playing the game.
Yeah. But that's
like through that as well.
I was going to say, just on the creativity side, one of the streams where I actually got a good few people in that were new and were just talking away and they were engaging with me was one of the times when I played AI Dungeon, where I was just typing in the story and following the story and the AI was generating the story. It was just text on the screen. But because it was like, number one, who else the hell was playing AI Dungeon? Number two, I was engaging. I was asking the chat, like, what do they want to happen?
That sounds deadly.
It was one, I had people, like, I'm used to my regulars, right? But I actually had people coming in that I'd never seen before going, punch me in the face. Punch me in the face. Like, all right, we're going to punch him in the face.
That sounds brilliant. That sounds really good crack.
Yeah, one of them is in the chat now with a tear rolling down their face going, I can't believe you said that.
Like expand on that. Like D&D has started really well on Twitch over the past couple of years.
D&D, but it has a massive following. It always has, hasn't it? Really, D&D.
Oh, yeah.
If you find a group of people that are really fun to watch, it's them streams are so fun.
I've never really played D&D in real life. D&D. No.
We should totally play
Nerd.
D&D.
We should play D&D. Like,
can you play D&D online? You can.
Yeah, you can.
We should definitely.
There's a Discord bot that does everything.
That could be fun. I'll jump in. The thing about being a content creator these days is to get your name and be seen everywhere. To get where you need to go, you need to put some serious work in. And it's like all the platforms, you need to be making videos, VODs, be creative. You have to do so much work, and like you're in a sea with some whales. Like it's very hard to get seen. It's very hard to get bigger. You make it shorts, TikToks, fucking YouTube, la 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 la, and you're like, it's too much.
Like, but these days, like some kids are going out there and doing like beyond pranks. Like one guy's like stealing people's dogs and breaking into people's houses.
I've seen that fella, yeah.
All that, like not even he's not the only one. He's setting like a never-ending trend that these young fellas going about, and some young fella got 10 years already in jail.
That's what happens.
Like,
never happy slapping.
Oh my god!
Happy slapping.
I actually watched Steve-O talk about this, and he's like, he kind of blames them for it.
I blame them too. But no, that's a different generation though. Like,
they're like, we did this. We pranked ourselves. Nobody ever got hurt except themselves. Like this new generation of pranksters is scum.
But I reckon
other people
in Jackass, I reckon after the first season, I'd say it was all screened. Like everything was done by a script. They went up and told people this is going to happen, that was going to happen. Like in general, do you know what I mean? I don't believe that as bad as stealing dogs and stuff.
As someone, I followed Jackass pretty religiously when I was younger, and like there's a lot of backstage footage just taken from that, and it does not seem to be.
Yeah, I think wasn't it your man stole a dog off a granny or something? That's too far. Yeah. Stuff like that, like that's going. Like Jackass wouldn't do that. They wouldn't they wouldn't go to a granny and steal their dog.
You try your pranking stuff in Dublin. Good luck with your life. Like you try like honestly, like you're lucky that some people are weak over there that's putting up with stuff. You try this in Dublin, you're done. Like,
why do you think he walked up to a granny? He's a coward.
Because he's a coward. He's a little don't care.
I hate them.
Right?
Oh, I hate them.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's what the thing is. Like, especially the fact that like not only him, but these other young fellas are doing it as well. That they're going into people's houses. Like, kids are sitting at the kitchen table. Like, who is the stranger? Like, how much? Like, I don't know. Like, where your reality is, lads. Like, you're causing
go to
travel
prison
for
for that,
kids.
big time.
Like I said, like they're gonna either some young fellas gonna walk into someone's house,
Get shot
and,
as well.
and they're
in
gonna
America,
get in America they'll be dead. There'll be all the guns in the world. But like I'm telling you now, like regardless, it doesn't matter if it's in the US, England, or anyone else. Like now that people know that people are trying to pull these pranks, someone will like card in and be like, you know what, this is my opportunity to get violent with some stranger that cause it on themselves. Like, because people like that exist.
I
That's how scary it is.
absolutely agree. Someone will get killed.
Someone will get hurt, and someone will cash in on that violence with no problem, going like, "Oh well, some stranger just broke my house. Well, today's the day I get all this anger out of me." Like, like you know, that's like I hate to.
Would
be
like
that
Jake
person,
Paul
but
and
it's
Logan
real.
Paul not be more responsible than Jackass? To be fair,
I don't think they're breaking into people's houses.
They were doing way
No,
worse
I
things.
get it, but it's all just it's all the evolution. You can almost just chart it back to Jackass starting the idea of like being famous.
Yeah, but like they started in the 90s and early 2000s. These young fellas haven't even like fallen out of their daddy's sack yet. Like, so it's kind of like, where are they getting these impressions?
I think they're bored.
Blame Noel. You can also blame Noel Edmonds.
Yeah.
But see, back in the it's funny because now looking back at it, it's the good old days, but we all hated it back in the day. The early YouTube prankers, like that's why they were all fake, was because you can't do that stuff and not get shot. Like the freaking
you can't walk into the ghetto and shout the N-word.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. The stuff like that. Starting a fight with people, do you know what I mean? And like, but then I told them I believed in Jesus.
YouTube famous. I was like, listen, Kim K got her time in the like way back then. So did Paris way back then. Like, we're on the internet. This is Slippy. Like, do you understand? Like, this is like you getting your paparazzi moment, and oh my god, everyone loves you. That like you're not in a victim situation or anything like that. Like, you're purposely putting this out there. So
it's getting a lot of press. Wasn't he on
like,
Piers Morgan and stuff like that?
For what? Like,
we all know.
Yeah. Like, what's your next business deal gonna be then? Like, oh yeah, I have a signing with Nike. Like, that's not happening, babe.
It's kind of a pity we lost iDubbbz to the light side. There's a couple of content cops on those people would be amazing.
The thing is, what he'll do now is he'll wait a while and then he'll come out with less threatening stuff, and he'll get signed to a TV show, or he'll get signed like he'll did badass of this. Like that's what'll happen, because they'll just say, "Oh, you have to calm down a little bit." Like people we know that changed their names, done this, done that, done the other thing, because they think lighten their content.
That's it.
Those people don't tend to. They tend to get extreme to a fault.
The numbers equals money. Money equals eyes. You know what I mean? Like it's
something you do have to divert.
This happened with a lot of YouTubers when they got like a lot of views because they started spouting like real, maybe anti-vax stuff, and like their views weren't really good, so they kept getting a bit more extreme, and eventually they just get banned. This happened a lot. It's like
I know that happens.
The attention is addictive.
It's whatever gets said, whatever gets views.
Yeah. That's it. It's as long as it's an emotional triggers. You get emotionally triggered from a post.
I'm triggered.
You've already won for them. You know what I mean? You're already drawn in.
These people tend to get worse into oblivion. They just tend to ruin their own careers because they can't. They don't know where to stop.
And to give that guy his credit, any credit I can give him, he has said this. He has said this in the interviews. He said they're like, but you're making a bad name for yourself, which is true. He's like, I don't care. Bad name, good name
for myself.
He's making a name for himself.
I'm on Piers Morgan. Like, people know who I am. Like, that's all I care about. That's literally what he said.
Yeah, I want the money. Basically.
And it's so funny that he's blatantly saying it to Piers Morgan's face, and he's not like cutting the interview. He's just like, yeah, and
he got kicked off another show. The man kicked him off because he was being threatening towards the woman. I didn't see it, but like he went around with fucking nuts and get off my show, yay!
That kind of did seem a little bit like, because Bivad was like, okay, I'll get off, it's fine. And he kind of just left.
Yeah.
That seemed like he was kind of wanted the soundbite of, you get off my show, vile creature. Yeah. You get off, how dare you? That seemed like
that classic soundbite for the camera.
Yes.
Well, usually that's Piers Morgan. He loves that.
They
He's
really
a nut job too.
It's really strange between that and then you have like let's take the bar even more lower. Then you have young fellas and young ones kicking the life out of each other and then film it all over the place. Like the other day, like some girl in the States, 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old, or so on, were having a sleepover. But these girls planned to ambush this girl and literally abuse her for a full 12 hours in the house, and then walked her home to her mother. Said, "Oh yeah, she got fed up on the way in." They planned to pop on her the whole time, and they filmed it and they live streamed it. And the girl was like, "Oh, I effed up a girl last night, and I feel really good about it." Like, this is where we're at now with getting your fame. These girls are literally taking another person hostage. A child is taking another child.
Well, I hope they go to prison for the rest of their lives.
It's no, and they can't.
They won't. Yeah, they're children.
They're children, and all you have the attention, and they're all dressed up like they're leading in their 20s. It's so weird looking.
But that's a much bigger and deeper conversation.
That is but even if that is these two factors of attention,
yeah.
being violent, being this, it's just I don't care what happens to my name. I just want to be famous. I was like, I don't understand what your grand scheme is at the end of this. Because I get it, what it was in the 90s, and I get it in the early 2000s, but now that we're in the day of internet, and every social media has a social media, and every video platform has a video platform, and everybody's able to share videos, you're just another fart in the wind eventually, right, of who's crying out for attention. So it's just really, really strange.
Kids are cruel.
I'd say there's a
kids are cruel.
I'd say there's a 50-50 chance that in 100 years' time, we're going to look back at Mark Zuckerberg with the same
frown.
Or we look back as Hitler.
I don't think so.
Fuck, that's a big.
You never know.
Hitler.
I think 50 years from now, people are like, Mark Zuckerberg ruined the world.
I know, but I know. Hitler's. I know that Hitler's a good fire comparison.
They already have that going.
But just look back as one of those terrible people that did massive damage to the planet.
Yeah, somebody invented plastic. That's the way people are going to see this. Oh, it was great when it was around, but now
I think
it's
that's a more apt comparison.
You know what I mean?
Sorry, no. What do you call the guy who invented the atomic bomb? That's a more apt comparison. Oppenheimer, yeah. That's a much better comparison.
I don't know. Nuke the country.
All of it sounds 1984 to me, regardless.
Mark Zuckerberg nuked the mental health of the entire planet.
But if it wasn't him, it was going to be someone else.
I know.
It was the twins, actually. It wasn't even Mark Zuckerberg. He invented them.
I wouldn't argue with it, to be honest with you. I wouldn't argue with that point at all.
I might argue a little bit with it. But
Instagram/Facebook has already been sued by a couple of parents in the UK for some young one taking her life because of Instagram and getting bullied and all the rest. And it's already happened in the States as well. So it's they're already changing the age limit some parts of the States and on TikTok and stuff like that. But
we'll make that. We'll clip it. Don't worry, we'll clip it.
You know what I mean? We'll have to see how it goes. Do you know what I mean? But it's still I wouldn't say Aiden's wrong.
Oh Jesus! Let's practice here.
To be fair,
poor Mark Zuckerberg.
I'd say Hitler probably has a beat, in my own opinion.
I wouldn't go for the Hitler statement.
Yeah, in our own. Yeah.
I much rather Oppenheimer. I think that's a much more.
I think I'm gonna go with the plastic theory. I'm gonna keep that. That sounds safe. Then an atomic bomb or I don't know, genocide. You know what I mean? So at least the fishes are getting killed.
It's a massive conversation. We got into it there for an hour because I don't want to.
Comedy sport from the
we definitely know. I think all of us have different opinions on it. To be honest, but I don't know. We do not condone Hitler.
We do condone Hitler. Oh my God, I don't know anymore.
We don't. I said we don't.
We don't.
Clip that. Clip that.
Don't clip that. Jesus Christ, don't clip that. No, I'm really confused with what's happening. Just stop talking about fucking Hitler for 5 seconds. I don't talk.
We need Ronan. This is what happens.
Hey! That's not very nice.
Do we not